All right, Grand Rising, everyone. It's Shalonda or Shay Seeking, excuse me, from American Aborigines Unchained, on YouTube and in the Facebook group. And again, this is going to be another version of This Is Not Your Mama's Bible Study. We're going to be going into Isaiah or Isaia in this book, chapter 40. And I don't know, I think it's pertaining to some things that are going on in these days. So we're going to go ahead and look into it. Okay. So okay, my fault. Okay. So again, it looks like in 39, it's talking about the embassy from Merodach and Balandin. And it's saying like at that time when Moradach, I don't know, that's Mordecai, I don't know, son of Badalin, king of Babylon, heard that Azariah or Shia had recovered from his sickness. He sent letters and gifts to him, and was pleased at this, and therefore they showed the messengers his treasury. So again, somebody showed the messengers their treasury, the silver and gold and the spices and fine oils and the whole armory that was in his storerooms. There was nothing in his house in this whole realm that he did not show them. So again, this is somebody showing their goods, right? And then it's talking about, that these people came, okay, and what did the men say to you, and where did they come from? And as a Shia, it says Shia, or Shia, because it's Ezechia in here. Answered, they came to me from a distant land, from Babylon. What did they see in your house? And he asked, and replied, they saw everything. Okay, so hear the word of the Lord of hosts. I'm just skipping through here. Everything that your fathers have stored up until this day shall be carried off. Okay, nothing left. Okay, all right, so okay, let's go to the book of consolation, which is Isaiah 40, the Lord's glory in Israel's liberation. And it says, chapter 40, promise of salvation. It says, comfort, give comfort to my people, say your God. That's with the capital G. Speak tenderly to Jerusalem and proclaim to her that her service is at an end. Okay. So this is to tell, Jerusalem that her service is at an end and her guilt is expiated, which I feel means, let's just look at it real quick. Okay. And I guess it means like atoned, I believe. Okay. And it says, indeed, she has received from the hand of the Lord double for her sins. A voice cries out in the desert, prepare the way for the Lord. Okay. All right. Make straight the wasteland. Let's see. Every valley shall be filled. The glory of the Lord shall be revealed. All mankind shall see it together, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. Okay. A voice says, cry out, I will answer, and I will cry out. It says, what shall I cry out? All mankind is grass. Okay. in all their glory, like flowers in the field. So again, I don't know. It's kind of like what we were talking about the other day. Like if everything has been laid low, like I'm just wondering. Again, we're just questioning. Okay. So again, I'm wondering if this has some, and I don't know, it's taking me back to the video that I did about the coat of arms, a couple of weeks back. It's coming to mind, but yeah, in their glory, like flowers in the field. So if it's something like flowers in the field, I don't know if that's laid low even. The grass withers, okay? The flower wilts. I was even thinking like, flowers, getting, plucked even. When the breath of the Lord blows upon it, okay? So again, this is talking about like it makes me feel like it's talking about like the spirit or the breath of the Lord or the speech or something of the Lord comes, then again, they are going to have to take heed. I feel like that's what it's saying. That like the haughtiness of the whole thing is going to be brought to like to the surface. I don't know. That's just what I feel like it's saying here. It says, so then the people is, well, do it say it like that? So then the people is the grass. That's what it say. Okay. Though the grass withers and the flower wilts, the word of God stands forever. So it means that, even if you think about like when the wind blows or like the breath of God blows and speaks something, you can see when there's some kind of power in the word, especially when it's spoken by certain individuals. And I feel like, that you can see the changes in people's energy, their spirit, when things are being spoken. I mean, I just don't know. It's like kind of like a taking heed of, okay, and actually listening, right, and actually seeing maybe a shift in things, seeing, people saying it. It's almost like making someone in the image of, kind of like that, like, making people feel, making people actually be able to feel and sense what's going on. We're again in this time, hopefully we're not just speaking and it's going to deaf ears, that actually people are actually listening with a non-biased approach and casting our feelings to the side and actually addressing some of these things, again, that make sense and don't make sense. And so I think that it's at a time when, again, you can see a shift going on with the energy here. Okay. So again, the word of God stands forever. So again, that's making me think about even that whole Christ reigning forever. It's almost like, someone even taking a seat on a throne in a sense. That this is just what I see. Okay. What I've witnessed. At one time, I think it was there, and then something happened where it went away. And I feel like now that energy is coming back, and it's not even in a way to try to say, anything, but maybe now we're making some kind of leeway as to speaking truth on some of these platforms, especially when it comes to mainstream media and things like this. Okay. So it says, go up on a high mountain, Zion. And that's with the S. Herald a glad tiding. Cry out at the top of your voice. Jerusalem, herald of good news. Fear not to cry out and say to the cities of Judah, here is your God. Okay. Because again, it's almost like how people be asking, yeah, where's your God? Where's your God now? Yeah, where's your God now? And it's almost like someone saying here, like, here's your God. Okay. Here comes with power the Lord God who rules by his strong arm. Here is his, let me get this straight, reward with him, his recompense before him. Like a shepherd, he feeds his flock. In his arm, he gathers the lambs, carrying them in his bosom and leading them, the ewes with care. Okay. So again, I mean, if you ever take a look, this is reminding me of, like, if you ever see, right there, I was going to say that. It says in here, lead an anti-Assyrian confederation. composed of neighboring states. Well, we're gonna read those notes in a second at the bottom, the footnotes or whatever. But this is making me think about, like, because as soon as I read that, it made me think about like Mesopotamian or Assyrian images, and it straight says, this here comes your God, not the God of everything, not the God, but yours. So in this sense, when you look at those images really, really close, you'll notice that on the images, I wish I had one here to pull up. Oh my goodness, I want to and not. Okay, you'll notice that again on some of those images, you can see faces on these men or these beings, on their chest, on the little hairs that look like little Bantu knots on the beard. Different places on them, like how we looked at the cuneiform tablets, and we noticed that they're not actually just like etchings or letters, right? They're actually images, very small images with detail. So when you look at these gods or whatever on these images, you'll notice that on their beings, you'll start to see faces. You'll see different things. You know what? Oh my goodness. After this, we'll go ahead and maybe at the end we'll pull up some pictures. Okay. But here's the footnotes right here for this chapter, and it says Mordecai Badladen. I'm about to say Bin Laden. Okay, my fault. Twice king of Babylon, probably from 1721 to 1710. Okay. It says, and again, 1721 here could be talking about, 721 could be talking about 720. You see what I'm saying? 1721 in my eyes. Or, we could be talking about 2021. I'm just saying, I don't know. Okay. Like for it to repeat again. Okay. Or let's say it was happening every some odd years or 100 years or whatnot. Okay. But it says, and again for 9 months in 704 and 703, this visit of his messengers. So again, this is a visit of some messengers, right? So maybe that's what it was talking about, those people. No, because we're in this chapter here. So yeah, these messengers, okay, certainly before 701 was in reality a political one. Okay, so again, what are we talking about? We talking politicking right here in the biblical text. Okay, Babylon hoped to lead an anti-Assyrian confederation composed of neighboring states. Okay, and that was from verse 1 and 1. Verse 1. Okay, and then verse 2 and 6. Okay. It says, because Judah preferred to follow a pro-Babylonian policy instead of trusting in God, it would later be exiled to Babylon. Okay. And it says, favorable for the exile would not occur in this lifetime. In his lifetime. Okay. So it's talking about servitude and exile. Describes the actual return of the exiles from Babylon to Jerusalem. It is the Lord who leads them. Their road is made easy for them. Okay. So again, I don't know. This is making me think about some kind of transitioning or something like that. Okay. Or laying something low. Oh, even like how we were talking about the cast or the class last night. Laying it low, right? So that, everything will be even, fair and balanced, and then again, maybe then that would be that race again to the top, what race, originally meant. So, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I'll leave that to you to discern, because it's also about what we're sensing and what we're actually seeing, each one of us, in our own eyes. But usually it will end up being all about the same thing, after you take all of the things into consideration. Okay, so again, to make their road easy, okay? Kind of like even the playing field or order in the court, okay? And parallels see in these verses a prophecy of the Baptist and Christ. Okay, so again, let's keep on going. Okay. I mean, that's what it sounded like to me. Okay. So it says, who has cupped in his hand. And on this, and listen, okay. And on this chapter, and again, cupped in his hand. See, now that just made me think about the image that we saw with the Assyrian, when it has that little flying object, right? That has the wings coming out the side when we were talking about Inanna or Ishtar. And it's kind of like a little small person, like in the flying object or whatever, that is like hovering over that, what did we call it in that video? I mean, we can call it a tree or something like that, but like a living fountain, like I don't know what we were calling it there. And you see the two beings standing on each side of that, that bush even. Oh, I don't even know. That made me think about the burning bush. But anyway, that just made me think about that. Or even when we're talking about the pinnacle, when we did the video on the tarot when it comes to the pinnacle, the Ace of Pinnacle, I think. And we did that verse about, him taking them in his hand and refining them. Okay. All right, but on this channel, you can change. I won't say that. When I start feeling like we're talking about a feminine energy, and if it's really pulling on me, then we'll just say it then, okay? Because I do kind of feel like this has something to do with a masculine energy, rather it's in a feminine body or vessel today, or a male body. See, because I don't like to look at it anymore as like a man or a woman, because I feel like we're talking about the spirit. And when you're talking about the spirit of someone, then, and how I feel like there is something going on with the changing of the makeup, okay, of individuals or people. Whatever. That's just what I feel like is going on when it comes to all of this stuff. Okay. So it says, cupped in his hand, the waters of the seas. Okay. So again, that, if we're talking about living creatures, again, when we're talking about the living creatures, those that were in that living part of the cast, I believe, at some point in time, which would be maritime families. Okay. Or dealing with that particular law. And then you have the admiralty law, I believe, when it's dealing with other groups. Okay. Who has held in a measure the dust of the earth. Okay. Weighed the mountains in scales and the hills in balance. Who has directed the spirit of the Lord, or has instructed him as his counselor. Okay. So again, I don't know. I feel male and feminine, like I said, energy here. These vessels could be, again, in women, like a woman, in her masculine energy. Okay. Whom did he consult to gain knowledge? Who taught him the path of judgment, or showed him the way of understanding? Behold, the nations count as a drop of the bucket, as dust on the scales, as coastlands weigh no more than powder. Lebanon would not suffice for fuel, nor its animals be enough for holocaust. Okay? Before him, all the nations are as naught. Okay? As nothing and void, he accounts them. Okay? To whom can you liken God? With what equal can you confront him? An idol, okay, cast by a craftsman. Which the smith plates with gold and fits with silver chains. Mulberry wood, the choice portion, which is a skilled craftsman picks out for himself, choosing timber that will not rot. Okay. to set up an idol that will not be unsteady. One man helps another. One says to other, keep on. The craftsman encourages the goldsmith. The one who beats with the hammer, him who strikes on an anvil. He says the soldering is good, and he fastened it with nails, and he fastened it with nails to steady it. Okay. Okay. One man helps another. One says to the other, keep on. Okay, so again, this is like men. Okay, so this is male energy, I feel, that is pushing in a sense, and it says, again, the whole beating with the hammer, and striking it. The soldering is good, and he fastened with nails and make it steady. So I don't know. I feel like, this is someone that's actually, it sounds as though, okay, like what we said, okay. So again, you're going to have you're going to have those that are dealing with the spirit and dealing with these certain bloodlines that are going to be able to, maybe by communing with source, angels, guides, and things like that, right? Ancestors, are going to be able to charge something within themselves. That means they maybe be able to go within themselves in times of need, or when they're in despair, or just, for me, sometimes is being like in solitude, or there's not that many words coming out of my mouth that day. Everybody knows something else is going on within, I'm at the grocery store, but I'm really not even there, and I'm hours in the past, and I'm back at home, like, what in the world just happened? Where was I at all this time? So it's just like a sense of, knowing that you're kind of lifted in a sense. Maybe like how people can say that your head is in the clouds, right? But again, I feel like when it comes to this idol, since we did talk about idols, or how somebody is fashioning something, like man is fashioning something and telling them to say this or say that, or look at what this person said and then reinterpret that and then say it like this. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, and to say keep on going. So again, I can feel this energy sometimes when I look into my feed. That is just things I've heard, ran across when we're looking through the feed, when we're scrolling. When you see other individuals, I can kind of pick up on their energy like immediately, and especially with the things that they say. Sometimes, again, they may not even be a biblical channel, but I can hear. These are people that even, so like I said, it could be anybody. This is not judging anyone. Just because you don't read the Bible mean that you don't have a relationship with source, right? Okay. But like I said, it's something when I know what is done on this channel, and I know the sense of the energies that are around, where I sense these energies might have something to do with other individuals. Because I can see the energy around them, therefore I can kind of identify that particular type of aura or energy, okay? It's in a weird way, okay, through something, okay? And so if you look at it that way, this is how you can kind of tell when it's like, okay, like when it's your work or whatever. And I'm not saying that I've even seen that recently, because I've been refraining from looking at certain things, because I feel like drama is going on right now, and I really ain't trying to have no part in it. So I'm just going to do my thing right now. Okay. Or that's what I've been doing today. Okay. So anyways, when we're talking about that, it's just kind of like how it's just saying when it comes to one man helping another, and one saying to the other, keep on, this is saying man. It didn't say a spirit. It didn't say God, or it didn't say anything like that. So it makes me think that we're talking about men, mere men, okay, on the plane, that are fashioning something, an idol, in order to use it for whatever, okay? So again, while they fix one energy, or this energy, okay, let's break this down, okay? Who beats with the hammer and strikes, and him who strikes on the anvil, he says, the soldering is good, and he fasteth with nails and make it steady. Okay. So again, I don't know. I don't know if this is talking about fixing someone to a position, a plaque, a throne. It just seems like this is dealing with man manipulating something and making it by pushing it and saying, go here, go there, look at that, see that. You know what I'm saying? To then, have it ready enough to, again, be fixed. So again, this would be that energy. I feel like that copycat energy, again, is here. Right? And while, again, today I've been feeling stagnant, right? Okay. And I feel like there's been something source has been trying to tell me, and I'm trying to listen to that. But at the same time, there's distractions of emotions and things that I'm trying to, comprehend and put in order or whatever, that are just coming from the spirit realm. Okay. And sometimes, like I said, when it comes to that, you can also be picking up on other energy. So that's why it's important to have somewhat of that tunnel vision at that time. But I'm betting if I go around and look in particular places, I will see something that is in the likeness of a god or goddess that is displaying the message. Now, they may be using different terms and things like that, but we can see what they're saying. Okay? And then we can combat that with other energies of other individuals, because those who have eyes to see and ears to see are going to be in tune with these particular people that are doing these things in these particular times. So you're not going to have to look that far to see the vision of the things that I'm telling you. Especially the people that have been already subscribed with this channel, and we know we met on other platforms and what has been going on throughout time. Okay? So again, this is, to me, is making me think about, again, somebody fashioning something and something being fixed. Whether it's the same energy or entity, I don't know. It throws me off a little bit. Okay? It says, do you not know? Have you not heard? Was it not foretold you from the beginning? Have you not understood since... Hold on. Fuel, the famed cedars, would not be enough to keep the fires of sacrifice burning. Okay, so that's what it was saying. Okay, so then when we're talking about this, the fuel in verse 16, fuel, the famed cedars would not be enough to keep the fires of sacrifice burning. So again, okay, so this is why. Okay. So I see why certain energy, again, is moving about again, right? Because something has happened. Okay, now I'm going to tell you. And some of us are finding out that we are the conductors of our energy. Although it's been bestowed upon us, these gifts have been given to us, we are the ones that conduct this. Some beings know that you don't know. You maybe don't even know about your light, right? The longer you are not aware of it, and you're not aware of why you're feeling like this and everything, you can't actually block that. But some of us are taking our power back because so much chaos has been going on, and we don't want to feed the